auditing what you already have. Okay, so let's get practical. In this video, we're going to walk through exactly how to audit the ESG work that's already happening in your business. We're going to do this department by department because that's where the data lives. I want you to grab the general ESG impact checklist, if you haven't already, because we're going to reference it throughout this lesson. And if you can, I'd encourage you to actually pause this video after each department and go and talk to the relevant people in your organisation. This is not a theoretical exercise. This is about uncovering real work that's happening right now. Let's start with finance. Your finance team is sitting on a goldmine of environmental data, even if they don't realise it. Here are the questions to ask. First, are you tracking energy costs by facility? Most businesses track their utility bills for cost management purposes, but those utility bills probably contain most of the data you need to calculate your carbon emissions. If your finance team has been filing away electricity and gas bills, you've got years of environmental data ready to go. Second, do you have vehicle fuel data? If you have company cars, a fleet of vans, or even just mileage claims from employees, that's emissions data. Your finance team probably has this because they're processing fuel card statements or mileage reimbursements. Third, are you monitoring waste disposal costs? If you're paying for waste collection, you have data on how much waste you're producing. This is a key environmental metric. Fourth, and this is important, how far back do your utility bills go? We've had clients who've been able to create an 8-year emissions baseline just from archived utility bills. That historical data is incredibly valuable because it lets you show trends and improvements over time. And finally, have you explored sustainability-linked financing? Some banks now offer better interest rates or terms for businesses that meet certain ESG criteria. Your finance team should know about this because it could save you money. Now let's move on to operations. This is where a lot of the environmental and health and safety data lives. Do you have health and safety data? If you're tracking workplace accidents, near misses, safety training, risk assessments, that's all ESG data. And in fact, health and safety is one of the most important social metrics. Many businesses have been doing this for years for HSE reporting purposes, but they don't realise it plays a part in their ESG reporting. Do you hold any environmental permits? If you have permits for emissions, waste disposal, water discharge, or anything similar, you are already managing environmental compliance. That is ESG. Do you have energy management systems? This could be as simple as a program to turn off lights or equipment at night, or as sophisticated as a building management system that optimizes heating and cooling. Either way, it's environmental management. Do you have waste contracts? Who collects your waste? Do you have recycling programs? Do you track how much waste goes to landfill versus recycling? Your operations team probably knows all of this. And what about maintenance records? Preventative maintenance that keeps equipment running efficiently reduces energy consumption and extends equipment life. That's both environmental and economic value. Next, let's talk about HR. The social in ESG is largely about people, and HR owns most of that data. Do you track employee retention and recruitment diversity? If you know your turnover rate, your average tenure, and the demographic breakdown of your workforce, you have key social metrics. Many businesses track this already for workforce planning purposes. Are training hours tracked? Employee development is a major social metric. If you're investing in your people's skills and career progression, that's ESG. And if you're tracking how many hours of training each employee receives, you can quantify it. Do you run employee engagement surveys? Employee satisfaction, engagement, and well-being are core social metrics. If you're already surveying your employees, even informally, you have data on this. Do you have flexible working policies? Remote work, flexible hours, compressed work weeks, these all contribute to employee well-being and work-life balance. What about well-being programs? This could include mental health support, employee assistance programs, gym memberships, health insurance, or even just regular team social events. All of this contributes to employee well-being. Finally, let's look at compliance and procurement. This is where supply chain and governance data lives. Are you doing any work on the Modern Slavery Act? Even if you're not yet required to publish a statement, you might be preparing for it or doing preliminary supply chain mapping. That's ESG work. Do you have a supplier questionnaire? Are you asking suppliers about their own environmental or social practices? Some businesses start doing this when their own customers ask them for ESG information, and now they're passing those questions down the supply chain. Do you have a supplier code of conduct? This is a document that sets out your expectations for how suppliers should behave. Things like treating workers fairly, following environmental regulations, or operating ethically. Have you conducted any supplier audits? If you've visited supplier facilities or reviewed their practices, especially for quality or safety reasons, that's supply chain oversight. And do you have any ethical sourcing policies? For example, do you avoid suppliers from certain high-risk countries or regions? Do you prioritise local suppliers to reduce transportation emissions? Here's what I want you to understand. So much of what you're already doing counts as ESG, even if you've never called it that. Let me give you some examples. Your annual charity fundraising event, that is community engagement and social impact. Your flexible working policy, that's employee well-being and work-life balance. Your energy efficient equipment, that's environmental management. Your health and safety training, that's social responsibility. Your anti-bribery policy, that's good governance. The point is this: ESG is not a separate additional thing you need to start doing. It's a way of organising and systemalising work you're probably already doing. In the next video, we're going to talk about how to complete this assessment efficiently so that you can get a clear picture of where you stand without spending weeks on it.